Hey y'all, this is AL Thick Madame, and this is the recap review for Our Kind of People. The name of this episode is entitled Hot Links and Red Drinks. I was like, dang, why is this one named so, out there when the other ones weren't named like that? But it is what it is. So we see that the episode starts off with Angela having like a moment where she's dreaming that her mother is alive, and like this is like real time for her. She's like, "Oh my gosh, you're here! I can't believe you're here!" And they are celebrating Juneteenth, which y'all know I live for Juneteenth. It's everything. And then like the music slows down and all this other stuff, and then her mama disappears, and so she wakes up from the nightmare that she's having about her mama. She's having a hard time transitioning into the society there, and people keep trying her. So it is what it is. So anyway, the family has gotten together. They are bringing out all of the Juneteenth decorations. Like her mother really, really loved Juneteenth and instilled in them learning to celebrate it. But yeah, Juneteenth is everything. So yeah, uh, everybody knows that Angela is really trying to get into the incubator program, but the only person that's gonna probably get in her way is her sister Leah. And I'm just so tired of her. Like she's trying to fit in with everybody. She's literally over there painting the bottom of her shoes red. Like y'all ladies know what that means. Some of you guys might understand what that means too. But the fact that she's doing this is showing you how dedicated she's trying to be when, fitting in with these people. Well, the daughter who got locked up, she got released, and her mama has this situation every Juneteenth dealing with roses and all this other stuff that she is trying to get going because it's like an invite only situation and all of that. The daddy is trying to be like, okay, well, has that girl reached out to you? And she was like, no, not since she pressed charges. And so he was just like, well, it is what it is. And so that's when she actually revealed to him that she likes her, she likes girls. And so he was like, I love you. Like, it doesn't matter. So I'm like, oh, that's so sweet. I don't know. I feel like when it comes to the women, it comes to girls, it seems like fathers seem to be a lot more understanding at times. I don't know. It just kind of depends, I guess. Okay, y'all, I paused it because I got to get these people's names correct. I didn't want to just be like that girl, that girl, that girl. So the daughter's name is Lauren, and the daddy's name is Raymond. I know it started with an R, but for whatever reason in that moment I couldn't remember it. But that's Morris Chestnut's character. So yeah, he had just brought her home, and the mama eventually, after the conversation was over, she came out there, was like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad to see you're home. And she was literally in the middle of going through the setup with the roses because it has to be perfect. It has to be a certain way. And there's a reason for that. And it's crazy, but we'll see. Y'all know what it is in a minute. But yeah, y'all, her mama can't read a room to save her life, apparently. And I'm just like, the fact that your sister, your half sister, has even told you this, it is very evident that you just need to go somewhere and sit down. Like, everything is all about you. You cannot read a room. So this helper went on to tell her daughter, well, I think you need to go get cleaned up because I want you to be a part of the tradition that your grandmother started years ago. And like, she picks these roses. They have to be very, very specific. Can't be too pink if there are any pink roses, all this other stuff. And the gist of it is you pass these roses down from older generation to younger generation because it signifies the blood that was shed on the road to, getting to the strength that we now have because, we were tried back in the day. And this is all a Juneteenth celebration as well, y'all. It's just for like everybody but Angela at this point. That's how petty she being. But anyway, like she was like, and you need this right now. And you know that girl hasn't dropped the charges against you, right? So, and it's like the husband looking like, ma'am, The son had to swoop in and was like, yeah, let's go get you cleaned up. The daughter was looking at this heifer like, if you don't get out my face, are you okay? Like, everybody tired. This heifer cannot read a room to save her life. Like, the daughter was really looking at this heifer like, girl. So, like I said, the son had to swoop in and get her. And she's not understanding that what she is doing is not working. It just is what it is. So she finds out that the husband is about to go and see what is hidden for with Angela for the incubator thing, and she's supposed to be there too. And so she's like, really, girl, go and do what you got to do. And my thing is, be fair about it. I hate people like that you just hating and mad for pretty much for no reason. So they went and got ready, and then they had to go down there because she had to present everything. So Leah had the audacity to be like, oh, well, you can sell at a higher price point if you change the packaging and what it looked like. And so she's like, I don't understand the problem. The picture that's on it is of my mama. I don't understand what's so problematic about it. I don't understand the issue. Child, she was just like, you can sell it at a higher price point and all this other stuff. So she was like, well, I've been able to sell it at the exact price that it's at right now. Because she really did try her in this moment. She was like, oh, well, that might appeal to the people in the ghetto and the projects and all this other stuff, but whatever. And then it's crazy because Angela had to tell her, like, girl, that's the demographic. That's the main demographic. They understand the struggle. So don't she really tried her. I was like, girl, I love how she normally has a good clap back with her. Even the husband was here for the response. So she was like, I'm sorry, Raymond, until she changes the packaging and come up with something else, ain't gonna be able to do it. Child. Angela called this heifer outside while she was ending a phone call and spoke to her. And so she was like, look, it is what it is. She started singing a hymn. This heifer politely went down this heifer car and keyed it. I said, ma'am, y'all don't understand how loud I screamed. This heifer she keyed her car. I was like, oh my gosh, Angela is a thug. Angela is a thug. So anyway, Angela is doing like she normally does, y'all. I don't know if I've ever mentioned it while doing these recap reviews, but she does lives and she'll talk to people about the product. She actually is coming to everybody in this moment to ask them if they think that the packaging and stuff needs to be, redone, or if it needs to stay the same, because ultimately they are the ones who should have the say so, because they've been the one who's been buying the product. And you know what I'm saying? Most of the people who are in the comments, they were like, oh, keep it the way it is, whatever. A few people were like, well, you can change it up. I want to see what you come. Let's see how you bring it or whatever. Leah is over here watching. And I'm like, oh, for somebody who says that they're not bothered, you seem pretty bothered. Why are you on the live? Why are you in the live watching what's going on? Oh, okay. Child, Raymond set it off and went and made a visit to Teddy, who is, Leah and Angela's daddy. He done walked up in the room, slammed the door. I said, oh Lord, you done went off. Not slamming your not stepdaddy. Not slamming your daddy's door. Y'all, what is it called? I don't know what's wrong with me. Father-in-law. Not slamming your father-in-law's door. He done rolled up in there and he talking about, I know the family dynamic and whatever. So he was just like, look, I ain't got time for it. It is what it is. I ain't really trying to hear nothing what you got to say. When I tell you that man read him, he said, he basically said, I'm a Q dog and you a noob. And the way that you tried to, sell what you was just saying to me, it's typical of a noob. That's noob behavior. I was just like, why is we reading? Why did you have to read this man? This man read him down and basically told him to get out. I'm like, wait a minute. He read him because of his, fraternity affiliation. Then he was like, I ain't really trying to hear nothing as far as what you got to say, because you lost your business. You done handed your business over to a white man. Like, he really read this man and told him to get out. I was like, oh God, why, sir? So anyway, then we see Leah go and visit her mama. Her mama is heavily sedated. And so she's trying to talk to her. It was like, mother, your strength was everything. And you could tell her mom is all the way out of it. Like, very much not like what she was when Angela visited her. So she's trying to talk to her. And I'm like, girl, why are you trying to talk to her? And then they actually show a flashback of one of the last times that her mother was over this situation. The whole house had roses all over it, petals everywhere. They had a doctor come in and sedate her and took her. And then her daddy was like, look, it is what it is. Your mama ain't where she need to be. And, he just gave her a mantra to live by and pretty much created the monster that Leah is today. Pretty much created that monster. And I'm tired. Like, he told her that it's a weakness, and weakness is powerlessness. And this is why Leah is trash today. Yeah, that's why she don't connect with her children, especially her daughter today. Yeah, as far as what I've seen, ain't nobody here for it. So anyway, she was about to try to do her mama's hair, and then she picked up the bottle of product and saw. She saw what it was. It's like, girl, you might as well get over it. It's the Hayden for me. And she saw that it was her sister's, product again. She was like, where is she? How did she get into all these spaces? Because she everything. Child, that helper went straight over to her house and was like, why is it that you visited my mama? And so she was like, I had questions for your mama, and your mama answered the questions that I needed to have her answer. And it is what it is. Your daddy seemed to not be able to face me himself. I need to know what it was. So it is what it is. So this heifer tried to pay her off and was like, how much is it going to cost to make you go away? Because, I'm pretty sure you have a price in mind. What is the number? Like, let me know, because I want you gone. She wrote it. I guess she wanted her to just write the number down. She looked at that check and politely took the scissors that were in her hand, because she was actually in the middle of doing a wig. Had them scissors in her hand, politely cut her finger, put it on there, and was like, you know what? Since you want to play these games, go and test this blood so that you can see for certain that we are related, because I don't have time for this. I'm going to do what I'm going to do. You go do what you do, but I'm not taking this money. Leave me alone. So she ended up rolling up on her daddy. This is what put the fire up under her to finally roll up. And she was like, oh, you're a coward. You couldn't come and see me yourself. And wanted to know why he sent Leah and all this other stuff. Not knowing that, he didn't, but he did send her. And yeah, she was just like, you don't get to send your mini-me over here to send me nothing to try to get me to leave. She ended up burning the check in his face and then put it in his glass of scotch or whatever it was, bourbon, whatever it was he had. Right there, she sat down and faced him. And was like, are you that ashamed of me? Like, what's going on here? Like, for real, child, to make a long story short, she was like, look, you know what you can do? Do you know what you can do? Nothing for me, because that's what you can do the same thing you've been doing. It's nothing. So they kept on showing while they was talking that his hand was setting it off. So he trying to hide it. And I'm like, child, it's just too much. Like, he need to, do what you gotta do, but you going through. And in all honesty, your other daughter is not where it's at. Like, you probably need to have Angela as the one who is going to, take over things at some point. But yeah, she ain't here for him. She tired of her spirit. And it is what it is. So her daughter, Nikki, is out at a day party on the beach. And these people trying to try her. These people be saying little stuff about her and trying to try her. And then when she set it off, it's a problem. So the girl who, was pushed off the boat is talking to her. And she run after her or whatever. That's all that happened in that moment. Well, then we see, I think his name is Tyreek, who is is his name Lance Gross? Lance Gross. Sorry, Lance Gross's character. And he is like, this is my skybox. And it's like an outside situation. And he is, really trying to cater to her. Y'all, try to keep my composure, because as we get close to the end of the episode, I'm just like, those of y'all who've seen, y'all already know. So anyway, she's just like, look, I might not be invited to this function, but I'm going to sneak in and do what I got to do. And I'm going to, do, basically telling every little bit that she, just a little bit of what she can tell. And he's really trying to get her to understand I can relate, because I'm trying to step outside of the Franklin shadow, because everybody outside of them pretty much sees him as someone who has been given a handout. And that's it. And they over here kissing and doing what they do, whatever. And I'm just like, child, I'm tired. I'm tired of my spirit. Y'all will see why later on. So anyway, the night has, it's night now, and we see Nikki and the girl outside, and they're talking, and she ended up talking to her and saying to her that what she did last year when she got into fights and all this other stuff, it went viral. People talking about cancel that girl and all this other stuff. So she feels some type of way. And, a lot of people don't understand what triggered her one of the last times that she fought, because people really was trying her, like really trying her. So after hearing why, oh yeah, I understand why she got into a fight with these raggedy folks, and they deserved it at this point. I'm sorry. That'd have been me. I probably would have blacked out and been beating somebody down too. It is what it is. So the girl was like, the person that they're trying to paint you out to be, that's not what I see, and you're not that person. And it is what it is. And so she's just like in her feelings and crying. And so the girl done handed her one of them vape pens or weed pens. I think it was a weed pen. And they talking and they're bonding. And she let her know that she likes her. She's like, I like you. The girl. The let Nikki know that she like her. And in my mind, I'm like, are we going to see them as a couple or not? Because I already, even after the first interaction, I was like, they're going to be really, really good friends, or they're going to be together. And we going to see what it is, because they ain't going to do nothing but push Lauren over the edge if it ends up really being either one. Because she ain't liked us since the day she stepped foot in the party. So anyway, Leah is outside of one of their children's door. And they're talking to one another. The siblings are talking to one another. And pretty much he's trying to calm his sister down, because they know how their mama is, and it's infuriating. And so the husband, Raymond, was like, see, last time I was outside that door, it was seen as, creepy and all this other stuff. And so they're trying to talk, and she was like, I love the relationship they have. I've never wanted a sibling. Like, I was content. I was happy not to have a sibling, because I feel like love is finite. You know what I'm saying? Because you're going to have to share it. Like, if you really are a real parent, you have to find a way to share the love. Y'all, the aunt, Leah's aunt, Patricia, I had to get her name because I forgot it because I haven't said it since like the first episode, I don't believe. Patricia is out and about at some location. And then Teddy rolled up. It was like a random dude. And then Teddy got in the car and was like, what are you doing here? And so she was like, you bought a piece of land. And not long after, myself and this man named Darius had a falling out. Apparently she killed this man. And I'm like, what happened? Why? Why is we killing these people? He tried to play it off, and he's like, look, there's an endangered species of a certain type of bird that seasonally comes in between the beach in this area and whatever, and he trying to make it seem like that's what it is. So basically, he's blackmailing her and holding this over her head, and he's trying to get Angela to leave. She's trying to get him to understand that Angela is her own woman. She ain't gonna leave unless she want to leave. Like, look, and I'm just like, child. Said she's stubborn as a tick and she ain't gonna leave. So ain't nothing I can do about that. At this point, he might have to go ahead and pull them skeletons on out, because Angela gonna do what she want to do. So it is what it is, because I was trying to understand what their relationship was. Well, the daughter Nikki that came in all late, and her mama Angela was sitting up like, where have you been? And so she was like, give me your phone. Gave her phone and told her that she is banned from social media for a week and all this other stuff. So then she's going through her phone and she sees a video. She says, Mom, please don't click on that video. I don't want you to see it. Why would you tell? You already know. You tell a person not to look at something or not to touch something or not to do something, they're going to do it anyway, because they're curious and want to know what it's hidden for. She played the video and she see her. She really had this girl and was tearing this girl head in. I was like, oh my gosh. So she never knew why. And so she was like, is this what happened last year or whatever? So she was like, no, Mom. I had to explain to her that some heifer was talking about the color of her grandmama's skin and all this other stuff. It really was trying to read her grandmama, like off the strength of the fact that she dark skinned and all this. Like, she really was trying her. And she's already said that her grandmama was her best friend. Like, apparently she was, because the way she speaks about her. And that's why she did what she did. And so she ended up running off because and then her mama was kind of left looking like, dang, I ain't know all that. It is what it is. Angela is talking to her Aunt Patricia and told her, yeah, I don't have an invitation to get into this event, but I'm going to go. I'm going to sneak in. I'm going to figure out how to do it. And I'm going to go to the person who is above Leah, and that's our father, Teddy. So the Aunt Patricia was looking like, oh, Lord, it is what it is. So anyway, she done walked up in there, and they talking. And so she went to go and talk to the daddy. And of course, he had a bodyguard close by. And so he asked him if he could, allow her to come or whatever. And she came. And so he was like, pretty bold of you to show up or whatever. So she was like, you asked me earlier what you could do for me. The one thing that you could do for me is to make sure that I get into this program. So he was like, that's my daughter's program. I can't step on her toes, whatever. So she was like, okay, really? So you pretty much are worthless. You still can do absolutely nothing for me. I only asked you for one thing in my entire life, and you can't even do that. Okay, all right, it is what it is. So there's a ruckus, and we're trying to figure out what's going on. Well, Leah's mama that showed up, and apparently the granddaughter, Lauren, brought her. She didn't know that she was like this. She's having a manic episode, a full-on manic episode. She just saw Leah is being told, you're not my daughter, get away from me, and who are you? She was like, what do you mean I am your daughter? Child, she ended up seeing Angela and was saying that that's her daughter. And so then she started connecting the dots. She was like, why is she saying that you're her daughter? What is going on here? She went off in front of everybody, made a fool of herself, talking about, that's not your daughter, I'm your daughter. That's the woman that did this, that. Like, she really set it off. She was like, that's the woman who was the bastard child that your husband had a baby. That's the baby bastard child that your husband had on you. Like, they did the most. And so the mama is going back and forth with this heifer, ended up falling back on the table filled with, I was about to say strawberries, filled with roses, knocked her on the ground. I said, Lord have mercy, this is too much. The woman that fell on the ground, Lord. And so they help her up into a wheelchair. And I'm like, this is really too much. So after that was all said and done, Leah linked up with the both of them and was like, we can spend this. We can spend this and go up as a family and make an announcement. And let everybody know that we know we're related and it is what it is, because they already knew that people were going to be there. They were going to be taking pictures, all of that. Well, they got up there and made their speeches. And when Angela got to the part where she was going to make her speech, she told everybody that she had been accepted into the program. People were like, oh. And they looking like, oh my, this heifer done went all the way off. And I'm like, checkmate. Oh, well, you're mad. It is what it is. Because everybody really was like, wait a minute, what? I was like, oh, y'all are mad. You're mad. And then she hugged Leah and was like, I must be, she said something about like, I really must be like y'all or something like that. I was like, oh, you're mad. Child, we get to the part where we see this raggedy bastard, Tyreek or whatever his name is, that's been buttering, y'all, I got so upset, I forgot her name all of a sudden. Angela. Buttering Angela up like he liked her this whole time. Earlier in the episode, he installed cameras in her place. Well, he has it where Angela won't know that she's being spied on 24/7 when she's at the house, especially in the living room area, whatever, the little open area where she's doing all sorts of things. And so he was like, yeah, she'll never know. I have it where it's password protected. She won't ever know, whatever. And I'm just like, do you like her or not? Like, why are you so dedicated to him? Like, you're grown now. You're grown now. Your daddy did what he did. He knew what the risk was. You don't have to keep doing all this stuff for him. So he was like, well, how can I repay you? Whatever. And he was like, oh, you don't have to repay me. You've already done that. My daddy was this. Like, he really did try to read him in the moment. And he was like, my daddy was the help. So he was like, oh, I didn't mean it like that. Whatever. I was like, sir, y'all be doing too much. Like, why is it worth it? Like, do you not have enough information to know that Angela is a whole vibe? She ain't doing nothing to harm nobody. And he even was saying that he doesn't believe that she's there to do anything to them. He just wants to be one step ahead of her to figure out what she's planning because he knows something coming, but he just don't know what. Well, we ended up seeing that Lauren was in her feelings and she's just like, I'm not perfect. Y'all can't expect me to be this perfect person. Y'all got me going through. Like, it's sad. Lauren is going all the way through. Please put her in therapy, Lord. Somebody, please. Her mama is so annoying. I can't stand it. She finally had a realization that she has been treating her daughter exactly like her father, like I already said before. I'm like, girl, it took you long enough. Girl, please go somewhere and sit down. So anyway, Nikki was talking to her mama Angela, and she was just like, it was crazy watching how your father actually sat up there and finally said and claimed you as his. And so she says that she has social media and she has these moments where she is wondering and thinking, like, what if my daddy is out there and he sees me and he notices that I have his eyes and he finds my social media page. Child, she went to the jailhouse to go see somebody. I'm like, oh, this gonna be the daddy. Because she made it seem, I guess she's always told her that it was a one-night stand. She didn't know who the dude was, whatever. But she knows full well who the man is. Child, I don't know what this man did. But again, as we already talked about in the previous show that I did the recap review on, the dude who is from Hit the Floor, the same dude. Like, he be getting roles left and right. He is the person. And so he want to know what she doing there. And so she was like, it's time for her to meet you. It's time for her to find out who you are. I'm like, girl, all these skeletons every week, Lord. So whoever this man is, I don't know what he did, but he in prison, and that's her child's father. They doing a lot. Anyway, thank y'all for tuning in to this recap review. I will try to be back later on with something else. I might do the Married Man Side Heifer saga while I'm still in the mood, because y'all know, if you saw the other recap review, y'all know how I've been feeling and what's been going on. But anyway, I'll leave y'all alone for the moment, but I will be back with some more foolishness. All right. Y'all have a good one, and I'll see y'all later on. Please like this video, subscribe to my channel, and turn on the notifications. Bye.